Transmission request from Ambrose Manor.
Captain! Imagine my surprise when I saw the Unreliable leaving Gorgon with so much urgency and purpose. Tell me you found Mother's journal. I'm positively dying for good news. Someone? You mean someone still has access to the facility? Oh, after all this time. Who was it? That doesn't narrow it down by much, but I think you're onto something. Make sure you have eyes on the back of your head. I doubt we've seen the last of this human vexation. If I know Spacer's Choice, getting past the lockdown will be more complicated than just hitting a big red button. You'll need authorization, and layers of it. No. I think you're going to have to rely on good old-fashioned detective work. It's a good thing you have keen senses, a reliable ship, and a very wealthy sponsor. I knew Mother was involved with some important chemical trials, but I had no idea her pet project was Adrenatime. Adrenatime is a working man's stimulant, like a caffeinoid. Very popular at launch, though the marketing quieted down over time. What? No! I mean, there's some very morbid wording in the fine print, but I had no idea Adrenatime could make marauders out of people. That's it. That must be it. Spacer's Choice is keeping their dirty little secret about Adrenatime off the record. We have to find Mother's journal. If we don't, then Spacer's Choice gets away with murder. I only hope we aren't too late. Adrenatime was touted as the working man's best friend. A drug that boosted productivity with no adverse effects. The promise of Adrenatime cannot be overstated. Exhaustion and fatigue were supposed to be obsolete. Workplace accidents would be things of the past. For whatever reason, the drug never lived up to that promise. I don't know. And thanks to Spacer's Choice, we may never find out. I know that I'd like to see a colony where the promise of Adrenatime was fulfilled. And I doubt I'm the only one. Thank you. I certainly ought to know what I'm doing. I spent years trying to break into pharmaceuticals, professionally speaking. Mother wouldn't hear of it. She didn't think I had the wit to succeed in her line of work. Safe travels. If your leads give you any trouble, be sure and give them some trouble back, yes? Ta!
Take someone to watch your back, please.
If I
Leo's
spit,
level
you
head.
think I can hit
Feeling
that
a little
mechanical
off balance? You need a level head.
Your best find this week. Go.
Oh, there.
Welcome to the Musgrave Family Collection. Still a work in progress. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating. Exactly. You do catch on fast. Now then, how can I help you? We find that our clients enjoy the appearance of participating in illegal activities. Secrecy contributes to a feeling of indecency.
This kind of thing's pretty common. Bijou's used to do a prison-themed night. Served fish sticks with tartarus sauce.
Oh yeah, prison-themed night was the best. Plus, they gave away limited edition designer handcuffs. The Musgrave Family Collection was intended to be a gallery of fine art. And here we are, using this place to practice semi-legal canid shows. Scandalous, isn't it? Mr. Mosley is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his canid La Place into our competition. You should find Mr. Mosley just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left.
Oh, just hear me out. It's a brilliant idea.
Hey, Maverick Johnston's newest star. I've got a question for you. Do you know the interesting thing about canid shows? Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. What gave me away? Wait, don't tell me. You've read my monograph, Putting the Us in Calculus, or How to Use Mathematics to Find Your Statistically Significant Other. I'm afraid I don't really do autographs, but yes, I am Clarence Mostly. Oh, then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. I was wondering if you were the sort of person to accept sensible advice or respond with threats of violence. Thank you for resolving that ambiguity for me. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the chem lab and human inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know 2 people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Right, of course. Thank you for reminding me. Point well taken. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way we don't have to rely on mutual trust. A grand prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have. My Canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other Canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him. Oh, you're much too kind. Does this mean you'll do it? Head into the main hall and take the elevator down into the maintenance tunnels. You'll find a service passage that leads up into the trophy room. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium. What's on your mind? At the moment, nothing. I have a one-track mind. I can't stop thinking about that trophy. Why isn't it in my hands? When is it going to be in my hands? And so on and so forth. You get me that Best in Show trophy, and it'll clear my mind right up. My eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. What's on your mind?
can take a hint.
All searching.
Oh, that's the last of him.
It ain't stealing if no one sees.
Poor Cadence. What kind of monster does something like this?
You know, stealing from these assholes is its own reward.
Come now, Anubis. You must.
Ugh, I've always hated these things. Basically sprats with an attitude.
You know, the careers of 9 out of 13 actors end after their debut serial. Enjoy the fame while it lasts. Dead canids in the service tunnels. Domesticated canids? Why, that's utterly revolting. My dear friend, I would not dream of hurting a canid. Every canid, regardless of their physical attributes, is a companion to their master. To kill a companion is a profound and unforgivable breach of trust. I'm glad I chose not to participate in this loathsome canid review. I will, however, take their trophy. My trophy! Look at this thing! Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers. Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing. Someone sabotaged the facility. Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. Well, with Spacer's choice equipment, who even knows? Dr. Blakesley tendered her resignation lawfully, but under suspicious circumstances. If you want to know more, you'd best ask her yourself. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Anti-Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus.
No, Captain. Lab coats, as in scientists.
Is your captain always this dense? How are you all still alive?
I live for risk.
Let's get back on topic. You'll find Dr. Lowe in an orbital lab around Olympus. Certainly. What's on your mind? Let's try to keep it down, shall we? At least pretend we're being discreet. There's not a lot about Project Gorgon I can tell you. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I closed that chapter in my life. I've moved on. All right. Ask your questions. And then if you don't mind, don't mention Project Gorgon anywhere near me again. Minnie Ambrose. Oh, Olivia's brat. Ambitious, but like the rest of her family, irrelevant. She tried following her mother's example, failed, and if she ever tried again, I couldn't tell you. The name Ambrose doesn't mean anything to me anymore, or to anyone halfway respectable. The Ambroses are, how do I put this politely, obsolete? A family's name is only as strong as its enterprise. The Musgraves have Rizzos, and the Schuyler's have Auntie Cleo, and so we show those names the respect they deserve. The Ambrose name was associated with Project Gorgon. The project died, and so the Ambrose name died with it. That's just the way the game is played. Project Gorgon was designed to change the life of every worker on Halcyon. We weren't just building a product, we were trying to build a society. How many workers call Halcyon their home? What do they eat and when? How long do they sleep? How hard do they work? What are their most productive years? When do their organs begin to fail? That's the nature of my work. I study human life in order to determine its value. Jewelers appraise diamonds, and I appraise people. Of course you can. You can break the entire universe down into numbers and statistics. Human beings are as much a part of the universe as weather patterns and orbital mechanics. It's complicated. I'll be honest, I didn't join Project Gorgon because I wanted to satisfy my intellectual curiosity. I was courting the daughter of a Spacer's Choice family. We were a mathematically congruent match, you see. I had the proofs all written out and everything. Everything. Every project has a margin of failure. We expect setbacks, complications, delays. Project Gorgon experienced a cascade failure. One mistake precipitated another, and another, and another. The labs failed to develop a safe drug. Human Inquiry failed to perform their tests responsibly. An unsafe drug tested on unhealthy subjects by irresponsible supervisors. That's Project Gorgon. Anarchy is not a crime. It is a symptom. The undisciplined workplace secretes anarchy the way our glands secrete enzymes. It's a principle of science. Sabotage came first. The chem lab, Human Inquiry, even my own office. Sabotage broke the discipline of our workplace, leading to confusion, leading to escaped subjects, leading to anarchy. No one appreciates the value of good data. The holistic surveillance device I wear is an invaluable tool, gathering data on all my day-to-day activities. My former colleagues can go into hiding and live in ignorance for all I care. I prefer the self-examined life. I know. Project Gorgon was a failure of leadership. Leadership to which I belonged. I should have pushed for stricter supervision. We gave the other departments too much freedom and not enough oversight. Spare the rod, spoil the servant.
You'd only be letting them into present.
Someone has left a threatening message on your terminal, Captain. I was unable to trace its origin. Please make a note of it. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
Would you like a reminder on when your next shower is scheduled?
We've arrived at the Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station.
We were hoping to find Lo alive, right?
Everything's going to be okay. And she's going to take care
All in the wrist.
Nice and easy.
Second best.
Everything's going to be okay. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's going to be all right.
This ought to be good.
Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Anti-Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out.
I ask myself that question a lot, and then I realize I'm talking to myself. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Auntie Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. If I had to guess, you'd probably find his body either in his office or the labs. Or heck, he could have been on the toilet. I don't know. No bones about it, he was the smartest of us all. Maybe he evaded the automechs, too. Like what? Pink slip protocol. If you work at Oops, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Yep. Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station. Auntie Cleo's naming and branding department's the best in Halcyon. Just a feeling I got. Every day was the same as every other day. I felt like I was stuck in a circle, you know? Started imagining what it'd be like to break that circle. Station goes in a circle around the planet, so what if I just dropped off the edge? But after what I've seen, after what happened, I don't want that anymore. I want to live. I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Auntie Cleo's anthracillin. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.
Hey, what would happen if this station fell into Olympus? Would we just keep falling forever? Just asking.
If they didn't want to tempt us, why'd they lock it up?
Oh, wait. Look up, the Gates is dead. That's good, actually.
Staying out of sight.
What'd you find?
and keep us out.
One team is a tragedy, two teams is a blunder. One team is a tragedy, two teams is a blunder. That's good, actually. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Sky High, my magnum opus of psychostimulants. I feel like I've already explained this to the last hallucination. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the Pink Slip Protocol. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
This guy looks like he's had enough.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. Ugh, stale drugs. Well, what's one more disappointment anyway? Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. Ah, right. How do I put this? This is not the first time I've lost a research team to corporate mismanagement. It's the second. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team, forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity. To forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Human Inquiry was supposed to be responsible for testing Adrenatime. Under normal circumstances, the chem lab wouldn't have had to perform live tests. But creative incubation pressured my team with impossible deadlines. The prototypes we delivered to Dr. Blakesley at Human Inquiry were poor because we were rushed. I had to begin experimenting on my own. I had to perform my own tests, so I used primals. They're not the best choice for test subjects, but I was working for Spacer's Choice. Whoever reached greatness by coloring within the lines. And besides, my lines often move around on the page. My point is, I was doing my job. I was doing science. I will continue to do so until my mind or my body expires. Not at all. Such an event is incredibly rare. Few workers understand the truth of their value to society. Me? I'm worth 5 measly lab coats. Especially when I'm high. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. Oh, all right. There's no point playing coy, is there? Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Dr. Olivia Ambrose was one of the finest scientists in the colony. If you're risking your life to retrieve her journal, there's likely a good reason. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Of course you do. Well then, let's hear them. One thing at a time, my chatty accomplice. Turbine repairs first, interviews later. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field.
Okay.
Show 'em how it's done!
Sure don't see that every day, Captain.
Facilities back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. If you'll excuse me, my experiments cry out for my attention.
orbit above Gorman.
Take someone to watch your back, please.
I don't know what kind of mess Spacer's Choice made here, but it figures they'd leave it to someone else to clean up.
Ducklow, let's hear that passphrase.
Guess we're gonna have to listen to this Jasper guy one last time.
This facility is currently experiencing a heightened security event. Accessing this facility requires voice-modulated passphrase. Please speak the passphrase.
We attest to the zest with our hand on our chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice.
Passphrase accepted. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Jasper Lowe.
So this is where Spacer's Choice's top lab coats made their wonder drug? Yep, looks like a mess.
To take the hint.
I got the strangest notion that was sarcasm. About wishing us good luck, I mean. I'm pretty sure the threat was real. It Unless we're getting stalked by two different shadowy figures with the same creepy voice, I'm pretty sure this is the same jackass from back in the OCI.
Unexpected beginning.
They're on it.
Don't mess with the best.
Their mistake.
Dr. Lowe and his people didn't just work here. They lived here. This lab must have been their whole life.
How the devil do I use this thing? Is it what? Oh, the barrel's turning. All right. I feel like an absolute idiot barking into this horn. I shouldn't have let Lucien talk me into this. What use do I have with audible notes? Posterity my ass. Ah, great fucking law. What's it doing now? Jasper! Jasper, it's... How do I turn it off? It won't.
Just press the button.
The what?
Oh, for Lord's sake, the button, Ollie.
Accursed thing.
Isn't the point of a secure off-world lab to keep things like that out?
Do that again? Here they come!
So, this is where that uppity lab coat worked, huh?
Wait for this!
Our hands dirty.
You survived. You're remarkably intent on scuttling my every plan to India. How inconsiderate. Especially after I've gone to so much effort to see Gordon rest in peace. Why do you insist on waking it up?
But Project Gorgon's dead, right? It's shut down for good. There's no way anybody could get this place running again.
You know, the more they tell us to stop, the more I want to see what they're keeping us from.
Night falls on Gorgon. Though I suppose it's always dark here in the void. The lab is empty, and I am at last alone. I'm preoccupied with thoughts of the single-celled xenocytes that make their home here on this rock. These primordial creatures persist despite the hostility of their surroundings. No, they require adversity to thrive. Perhaps that's why our bodies react to theirs. There is a harmony in us. The law didn't craft us for the void, yet we scrabble across its cold worlds, building, persisting, as the xenocytes do. We live. Against all odds, we live. But for how long?
Halcyon's got no shortage of creepy science labs, boss. But this place? There's something real twisted about this place.
I've seen some reckless operations, but here, it's like they were trying to get people killed. Sloppy work, poor management, and a questionable odor? I'll say. Still, Spacer's Choice spent a fortune on this place. filled it with the best and brightest lab coats they could find, and this is what they came up with?
Yeah, no kidding, boss. They should really change their slogan. We're not the best choice or the brightest choice. We're Spacer's choice. I don't know if anybody's gonna take the fall for what happened here. It could be Miss Ambrose if she's not careful. Get out of here. I think I got primal guts all over my ass-kicking boots.
An unknown vessel is approaching our ship. Their intentions are currently indeterminate. Once I deduce their intentions, I will play one of two audio signals. A cheerful fanfare if they are friendly, alarms if they are hostile. Their intentions are no longer unknown. The unknown vessel has deployed a boarding mechanism. They will attach themselves to our airlock and attempt boarding shortly. That sound indicates that a boarding mechanism has successfully attached to our airlock. Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we are currently in the process of being boarded. Boarded, Captain. A verb, indicating a hostile action whereby an enemy ship attempts to invade our own for the purposes of capture. Captain Hawthorne installed a lethal shock trap on our airlock in the event of an invasion. I am prepared to deploy this trap at a moment's notice. The invading ship appears to be a decommissioned storage vessel. The crew are either pirates or freelancers. My opinion of their competence is low. Their ship is using a tracking device too sophisticated for their primitive astrogator. I conclude they are receiving outside assistance. If you prefer to make an escape, I can disable their boarding mechanism. However, as long as that tracking device remains on board their ship, they will be able to find us again. Yes, Captain. I am capable of deploying the Unreliable's articulated thrusters to dislodge their ship from our own. This is a temporary solution, however. A permanent solution may require your personal intervention. I understand, Captain. Please take hold of something stable as I deploy my prize-swatting maneuver. Maneuver deployed. Enemy vessel successfully dislodged. Please be mindful of any spaceborne corpses drifting toward our hull. I am now capable of resuming navigation, Captain. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.